How you guys doing? Oh man, what a day! Um, got on my Easy Diver, Roger Dubuis. What I had done, I went down to get the strap taken off to my 84-year-old watchmaker, and he got it off, but the replacement strap I got apparently wasn't what it was supposed to be, and so but he left it off for me because I wanted to play around with it. And I think if I do a few things, it'll be okay. But man, what these have got, you really know you're playing with a watch with the this band system. My favorite watches, three of my favorite watches, all have the same kind of thing, and it's the band. It's just like anyway, so that's what I've been up to. So let's see what everybody's doing. Oh my goodness. Hey Kaz, how are you? Javi, I see you're real. Ejin, oh boy. Evgeny, how are you? Donald, good to see you. Let's see what else is going on. Hey Junior, how are you? And Stefan, oh man. Are there? Yeah, there you are. Eddie, how you doing? Let's see what else is going on. Hi David. Forbin, hi Forbin. And Raj, hi Raj. I think some of you guys, Kaz, wake up. You know, let me tell you what happened. I was getting all ready to get things going, and then boom, on my screen comes up, your Amazon package has arrived, and it's for my wife. I thought, man, I better get that thing in because they're worried about thunderstorms. So we have a routine. So I put on my gloves, ran down, got it, put it up there, then 10 out, then have to wash my hands. And so I missed it by a couple minutes. Sorry about that, Kaz. I did. It's just sort of the new normal. Oh man. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Hey, Tennessee Mike, how you doing? Let's see. Who we got here? Hi, Mark. Dominic. Golden Baba. What a cool name. Hey, Golden Baba. That's fun to say. Tim. Hi, Tim. Krasmir. Hi, Krasmir. Javi. Javi, come on, man. You can speak in something other than emojis. I know you can. Abdul, how are you? Stress factor nine. Yeah, that's what we're in right now is stress factor nine. Dr. A and B, how you doing? Let's see. Boy, you got a whole thing going here. Hi, Truth Fears. Man, that'll teach me to be a couple minutes late. Okay. All right. So let's see. Indrajit, how are you, Indrajit? Yeah, what time is it, Indrajit, where you are right now? Hey, Rick. Oh boy. Um, I there was some comments and messages and things I've been getting about people who are just like, oh, I'm burned out. I'm pooped out with this thing, and someone says, "Oh, this is bad. What we're in. We're in the middle of a pandemic. People are really hurting bad. They both uh, for some, it's been fatal. For others, it's been what bothers me is the ones who have gotten through it somehow, but they have all of these after effects. And so we're trying to stay home and be safe and use masks and do all of this other stuff. And and so some of us have a lot of time on our hands. So like, you don't want to fight with a wife. The kids, you finally gave in to whatever they wanted you to do, and you just got to do something. And so you got your watches, and so even anybody's hobby, I think. What I feel sorry for the newlyweds, they who got married at the beginning of this thing, and all they've been in is sort of this period of no one knows what's going on. So uh, that doesn't really surprise me. Yeah, a pandemic staycation. That's what it is. Now, I'm retired, and so it doesn't affect me or impact me as much as I know it does a lot of you. A lot of you, yeah. Anyway, one of my sons has, he sort of they let him off, and then they brought him back, and then I don't know if he's back or back to work or not yet because some places they did that and they boom. And so, I'm worried about him. Our daughter-in-law has a great job with computer, doing computer stuff, and she does computers at work. She can do it at home. So that hasn't impacted her. And some people have been impacted more than others. And not to mention, if you have, somebody close to you who's got this god awful disease. So this is why I thought, some people are really getting bummed out by it. So anyway, that was what I thought, that we needed to sort of kick around and sort of adaptations. What I've been doing is aggravating myself, and that's worked out great. I like this one. This is my latest aggravation because I'm spending so much time trying to figure out how to get a longer strap, and then I go to the guy, my watchmaker, my 84-year-old watchmaker's about, he's way on the other side of town, and so I went over there today, and now, yeah, they fixed it up, and then they called me back, and they said, "Hey, that strap isn't fitting right." And I thought, oh man, so it's come back, so I had to go back again all the way on the other side of town. This time, my wife says, "Let me drive, let me drive. I want to get out of here." So she's going nuts too. But one of the things I found that helped me, at least when things sort of get goofy, is to find out something new. In other words, find new ways to get into trouble. Um, like something else will mess up, and there's so much I don't know about watches, and there's so much more to find out that I don't have to, sort of scratch the surface too much before I find out something about the something new. There was some little things, like the equation of time. I heard of it, and people make a big deal about it, but I really wasn't sure what it was. I'd read a long time ago what it was, and that, oh yeah. But then then go back and I said, oh, that's really interesting, and so I, was playing around with that for a few days. But there's stuff, just more and more stuff, and a lot of history and a lot of interesting things. So that's pretty much how I've been coping. But boy, I tell you, the Indojet. No, they're not into watches. The What I do is, I've made all of them a watch. It's the last thing they want to see is another watch. One we got a new Bulgari Octo Roma for, and he really likes that. And he's sort of into watches, but not a great deal. He's got he just started a new job right before everything started. it's it's just nuts. Oh, Rick, I tell you, it's there's always more to learn, and I'm having fun. Like I said, Rick, you just retired too, so you got some irresponsible time on your hands too. You know what was fun? I really enjoyed it a lot. Is this was more fun. If we could get more of these, this is a watch that we passed around for a little over no, a year. Yeah, we started this back in, I think, about last June. And it started here, and it went to Oklahoma, and then it went to Louisiana, and then out to California. And where did it go after that? I think it went to Ohio, and then to New York, and then South Carolina, Florida. This one went all over the place, and that was sort of fun because it's sort of a watch we could play for with a week, and we didn't have to shell out $20,000 or whatever this would be charged. This is the part I like the most. But it's like stuff to learn about. Yeah, Florida, that was another one too. We even sent it down to Florida. We were, always the alligators might eat somebody's arm, and we were concerned about that. Hey, Alex, Mont Blanc Geosphere or Nomos Zurich World Time. Well, I don't know. Those are both of them are pretty cool, Alex. Um, I like them both. Oh, hey, Val. Hey again. Good. See, Val doesn't know I'm late, so oh, what's going on? I got a cool bag from Claudio at uh, Jacques Dro. I was also thinking, why doesn't Jacques Dro get more attention? It is really a great brand. It's like an independent, but with financial security of Swatch. Jacques Droz is very, very interesting. Eddie, here's one for you. How is Jacques Droz related to Parmigiani? There's a link there. Yeah, Rolf Lang Dresden. That was who we had. The concept of passing around at RLD is very cool. Yeah, me too. I really had fun because it was something that I'd never done before, and I think it really is, it's helpful. Certainly, people know about Rolf Lang Dresden now. Hi, Larry Lang. Hello from Orange County. How are things in Orange County? I used to go through Orange County a lot, driving from San Diego up to Santa Barbara, but or if I went to Disneyland. Also, too, I used to land part of the Flying Samaritans I used to fly with used to land at the John Wayne Airport in Orange County. Check Metamorphosis by MB. MB. Metamorphosis MB. I'm right, Stefan. That's right, the Sandoz family. Marianne Sandoz married Jacques Droz in 1750. So, yeah, I know. Okay, let's see. Any word from Rolf as to what will happen with the watch? We should send it to Tim Mosca to review and help sell. Okay, Eddie, I think you told me that a couple times. We'll get old. We'll see if what Tim's wants to do with it. Um, yeah, Droz is a funny one. A couple years ago at the Watch Time show in New York, it was the first time that Jacques Droz had shown there, and I talked with a guy, and what he told me, he said, well, we really don't have much um, impact here in the United States, and we don't have, very, reps and a lot of other things that they needed. They may have changed that since then, but he was showing me some of the automata that they had. I thought that was pretty interesting. Oh, let's see. Just checking the Rolf Lang website model Canaletto. What does it mean? Case fit quality steel. Yeah, let me tell you about this Canaletto. This was something that Rolf Lang did for us, which I was really jazzed with. Canaletto, I think, is a name of I think it may be a building or something like that. I don't know. You know, with an independent watchmaker who, he what did he do? He made a minute repeater for Tutima. He used to work at H. Moser. He was with, I think, A Longa for a while. He did all of these incredible things. And then he sort of rebuilt the Dresden Museum from the bombing. But the thing that he did with ours is that he made something years ago that was a maritime. Ooh, what did he call it? Maritime something or other. A maritime uh, balance, a chronometer, maritime chronometer. That was it. And he has two types of balances he put in the watches. One is sort of it's called the just a standard one, and the other one is the maritime chronometer. Well, this watch was built for the standard movement, and what he did, he put in one of the maritime chronometer balances and spring and so forth for this watch, which I just thought was, he didn't have to do that. I mean, most of us wouldn't have known the difference. Like, oh, this you got a watch like this. It turned out it was a great watch. It's hard to see though because it has this gray and then but it was I think it's a very cool looking one. I think we ended up with three or four different bands for it. When he gets it back, this is the original band, and some of us bought extra bands. I bought a gray one, and somebody bought a black one, and then somebody bought another color one, I think. So when I finally got it back, I had all these extra bands with it when I got it back from Rick. It was like, whoa, it grew on us. But I think, for any brand that is, people simply don't know about it. I don't know, independent watchmakers, as a rule, okay, with some exceptions, really aren't that very good at in terms of marketing and sales and all of the business kind of stuff. Some exceptions, of course, would be FP's yarn. Kerry Vouten-Lannen is a very sharp guy. He owns some other things too, like Vouten-Lannen and Callan, the case makers, and he's got his fingers in a lot of pots. This guy's very sharp. I don't know how well he does, but he seems to be a pretty sharp business wise guy. Is what's his name? Ferrier, Laurent Ferrier. He's not great, but seems to have a lot on the ball. What happened was like Dubry and a lot of these other guys. They're just, I mean, the business part, they hate handling it. They want to make watches and they want to make them the way they want to. A lot of them don't sell, and so somebody buys them out. This is what happened with Dubry. Roger Dubuis, and he got together with this guy Diaz, who was, I don't know, I don't know how much he claimed to know something about business. I don't know if he did or not. He was also claimed to be a designer, and some of the designs that I think that came out of the early Roger Dubuis by this guy were sort of goofy looking. I mean, really weird. But then they had this movement inside, and so you have things like that. Hey, Roberto, how you doing? Anyway, but here was my point, and getting everybody together today was that you know we I can't think you'd get bored of a beauty queen anything day in and day out, and so far I was like, wow, I got bored with my watches. That's not surprising. And this is one of the things, at least with my young lifetime. I Someone says, well, it was worse back when. I don't remember it being worse back when. I remember some bad things that have happened, like World War II and Korean War, and all, go on through a lot of stuff that's going on. But right now we got, Jesus, we just got a dog pile of all kinds of things, and I I think that finally, um, now we got global warming really heating up everybody. Those poor guys out west, we complain because it's in the 90s and the humidity is like sky high. So we whine. That on top of everything else. Hey, Geezer, and hey, Dog Pod, I haven't seen you for a while. How you doing? Uh, oh, yeah, okay, Rick, thanks. I don't know. He is a bad businessman. He was a race car driver. I should have known that. George Daniels is the one that I always think about as an independent watchmaker from start to finish on a entire watch. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he is. I tell you, so is Roger Smith. Here's the irony about some of these guys, like Roger Smith. His watches, I think, almost from day one, were so popular. It seems that way. That same thing with Philippe Dufour. His stuff coming out was, I mean, and then it's like gone. And if you want to buy another one somewhere, it'll cost you, over $100,000. Crazy, crazy kind of stuff. The accessibility of these things. This is one of the reasons that I thought, well, heck, we might as well see if we can find a few watchmakers like Dubry and Roth and some of the others that were actually, did a lot of their work, not all of it, in the 21st century. And so that's always a fun thing to do. Okay, what else is going on, Mark? Our fire season started earlier this year, and fire is getting closer and closer to home. Man, I tell you, a house I had in California burnt down to nothing. The it was called the Rancho Bernardo fire back, I don't know, back in the 90s sometimes. This happened after we had sold the house. And my kids said, "Oh, hey, we were looking at Google Map, and there's nothing left but the foundation." It got, I think, our house and the next door neighbors got it on our cul-de-sac, and that was it. But there's the fires in California have always been a problem. There's an earthquake out there. You'll hear about that for weeks and months. But fires have always been the big danger out there. And now with the heat going nuts, it's really hard. Doing great here in Phoenix. Our forecast is 114 today, and we have 4 more days of 110 degrees ahead of us. Not to mention a spike in the pandemic and the COVID-19. Ah, geez. It's sort of like, the thing is, I feel sorry for future generation to have to listen to us complain about, you should have been here in 2020. You think you got it bad. Hey, Clyde. Yeah, I agree with that. Clyde's point, get it because you like it. Now, here's the thing is that how do we come to like something? And there are a lot of different paths to that too. And all of them are valid. This, I think, I mean, somebody may get a watch that I just do not like. We were talking about that earlier this morning about sort of this Nazified kind of, you must like this and you must like this. It's crazy. Hey, Crappy, what are you doing? Global warming is a commie plot to sap our precious bodily fluids. Well, it's working. Hey, Wesley, what's up? Um, okay. You know, Listen, the Germans, Alex, they were smart. Um, One thing that if you look at the curve, they whoop, and then they beat it down, and that was what I think everybody was going to do. But I don't want to sort of go on about just almost abysmal leadership in this whole thing in the U.S. Connecticut, we lucked out. We got hit very hard. I mean, huge, but we have exactly the same curve as Germany, and I think everyone's being careful, opening up, and so forth. Like I said, I'm retired, but boy, if I weren't, I'd have my hands full, and I think a lot. I know a lot of you must, and so I'm not. It's something that just you got to do it systematically. And anyway, too many infectious uh, going up in USA. Yeah. Yep. Live near Frankfurt. I did live in Berlin for a while. Cool. Thousands and thousands reopening every day. Yep. And spike, kaboom. Um, hey, stress factor 9. Stress. Germany has a working government. Ta-da. There's sort of like one of those drum beats after that, after they have a joke. Okay, what's else? See, where's that list of skills you said George Daniels made? I they're what were they? They were like something or others. Yeah, Eddie, that's a good question. We got to get that whole list. There were, from making the case to doing this to doing that, and I think there were like 34 of them, and Daniels had all but two. I, I just have found bits and pieces here and there, but we got to get a whole list of that. So those of us who are at the pretentious watchmakers can get our check boxes going. Um, yeah. Oh, Alex, you got your mom lives in Queens. So does our daughter. So, yeah, she's taking very good care of herself. And I think New York is pulling out pretty well. Geezer, yeah, Geezer's talking about his government. Well, your PM got it, which is sort of that. Wow. Let's see. I, I I got I got the Boris Johnson haircut. I haven't had a haircut in what 3 or 4 months. Whenever they shut down the barber shop, and I don't know. I'm going to need a ponytail. If the barber shop's open and everybody's safe, and I still have a ponytail, shoot me. Oh, Chicago is doing well with COVID, but it was locked down much longer than most places. Yeah, that's what you got to do. I mean, I think the way to get business back working was you got a long range plan. You do this, this, and this, and this, business will get back. If you just try to push it, not going to work. Um, my resident project. See, that's another one. Eddie, thank you for reminding me of that. I look in my drawer and there's my residence project. All I've got to do is to get these files. They're in the garage. That's where my files are. And with everything else, what I've been doing, I've been puttering around here and there. But that's another thing that's a fun project. I think there's so many different projects and different kinds of things you can have fun with that I got mine backed up right now. It and so yeah, I'll get out there and get the thing filed down. Yeah, Raj, thank you. That's a good point. He was a draftsman. Yeah, uh, uh, about George Daniels. What do you think about Dornbluth? I always like those guys. What's interesting about Dornbluth is sort of the story behind it. They were one of those companies that was behind the Iron Curtain, and then they were not, and they started stuff up. They were using a lot of pretty solid ETA movements, and I think they sort of went from that, and then they finally developed their own movement. But I'm not positive on the details about that. But those guys have some seriously good craftsmanship skills. Anyway, Eveni, that's my view of it. Okay. One other thing. Oh my goodness, we're already out of time. Well, I can go a little over today because I'm just a little late. One of the things that I think really would help us each other. I mean, in this thing is what we were talking about this morning. Is it's just people don't have to be so dogmatic about anything. Um, it just they can't just say I like it or I don't like it or it's not my thing. They've got to make some kind of hit my microphone. They got to make some kind of dramatic speech, and that's something that I'm hoping that we have less of. And by and large, it's extremely good and convincing uh, communication. Sounds like something that came out of a playbook. How to be snotty about this watch, or how to say something that's really stupid that you think is clever. That's like, don't do that. Oh, okay. I think my other question went by too fast. I was curious about your thoughts on Bruin micro rotor versus Universal Geneve. I don't know that much. I remember I'd read at one time a lot about the micro rotor and Universal Geneve. I've always sort of saw both of those over on the side more, and I haven't spent that much time with it, Alex. So that's at least my non response. Okay, now truth is, you be nice now. I don't want to hear anything about I don't want a pitchfork. I got three lugs. I know you have lug jealousy. That's lug envy. There's something ought to be about that. Oh man, I tell you, Mark, about adding more days. We had, it's well, we'll see. Okay, this thing is, if it gets worse, we'll have more days. We'll do a Wednesday, but um, yeah, Rick, that's it's so much easier, Rick. I agree with you. If I see a watch posted that I don't like, I just keep scrolling. No need to be negative. There isn't at all. I mean, like, to tell you I hate to say it, to tell you the truth, because that means nothing I've said before is the truth. But as far as these watches, the Roger Dubuis watches, I don't like any of the new ones. Okay. I like this one. It's got an RD14 movement in it. And it wasn't one I used to like, but it sort of grew on me. And now I absolutely love it. And I cause lug envy by having three lugs on each side. It's a lot. It's a fun watch to have. I few things about the strap, but other than that, it's pretty fun. Yeah, for a band. How about a conference if the pandemic settles down? Tony, we that would be every year, every October. I so look forward to meeting up with everybody at the Watch Time show. I got my tickets, long time ago, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to be able to go this year. I just don't see it. I had tickets to the Horological Society's annual banquet, and that's sort of a money raising thing. We raise money to, I think it's a scholarship for young watchmakers, guys going to watchmaking school. So you have a good cause, and everybody has a big dinner together, and you get together with all these people, and the wife gets to get dressed up. They canceled it, and I'm glad they did. Right before they closed everything down, Eddie and I and some other people I know were able to go to. We went to the thing and met FP Journe. That was a great experience. And a week later, we met with Nicholas Malin and had a really great interview with him. The guy's just an incredibly cool guy. And after that, bam, it was sort of like an iron door came down. It just sort of fun. Hey, Roberto, what's up? Um, my, the thing is that this is, I got about a 7.5 inch wrist. And the one problem, it was something I knew about, was that the band was for someone for between a 6 and 7 inch, and so it's worn tight, and that's why I got a new band. But it's not that bad, and it's, as far as the size of it's concerned, of course it's my only sports watch. Sports watches are supposed to be big and tough like that. Hey, Stefan, what is that? A Rolex AD abusive relationship support group? That would be one. Hey, Watch Lounge, how you doing? Oh boy. Okay. Hey, Joseph, what's up? Let's see. The Easy Diver comes in 40 millimeter size. However, they are extremely rare and command a premium. Only 280 made of bills. Only 280. I wonder where the other 279 guys are hanging out. We'll get together. Okay. Yeah, mine's a big one. This is 46. Chi Town. I mean, Joseph. Yeah. Am I enjoying the New England humidity? Not at all. Usually, my wife and I try to do 5K a day, and usually we do it. But boy, the hardest thing is humidity. For the heat, we can get up early in the morning and go, and that's not a problem. But boy, this humidity has just been really, really rough. Cool. Yeah. By the way, too, yeah, you guys got the rain. We didn't. We could use some more rain, and asking for that will probably end up with a flooding. you know. Oh boy. Okay. Well, listen, guys, we did go over, so uh, even more so than I was late. And oh, I forgot to tell you, there's no video tomorrow for collection review because I don't have any collections left to review. So send in a collection review, and I'll put together a vest pocket about something if I can, real quick. Take care and be safe. You know what? Maybe what we ought to do is get some, watch watch logo masks. That would be cool to have. Okay, you guys, take care. Be safe. Be smart.